Hello, this is Jon Mitchell, and today we're going to talk about ways to improve digestion without the use of pills. So, a lot of people deal with a lot of gut issues, whether that's indigestion, reflux, bloating, cramping, just pain, um, and it's hard to get a hold of for a lot of people. So, I want to give you kind of the background of what it's like going to a traditional doctor and the way they think about treating these things and other things that you can do on your own without having to go through different medications or supplements. Because I've been trained in the traditional medical model. That's how I was trained at a regular medical school, and the mindset when you come into a doctor is they want to play the name it, blame it, tame it game. So they want to put a name to your symptoms, blame it for what's going on, and then they want to tame it with some typically medications. So say you go in with some abdominal cramping or indigestion after eating. In the doctor's head, they're going to be going, okay, let's get a diagnosis. Let's go through. We're going to ask you a whole bunch of questions, and then we're probably going to do a physical exam as well. And that's going to allow us to put a name to what's going on in the form of a diagnosis. And now that I have the diagnosis, I have a checklist in my head of things that I can prescribe that are considered the standard of care for these conditions. So if it's reflux, we're going to give you an acid inhibitor, even though a lot of times it really doesn't have to do with too much acid. A lot of times it's underproduction of acid. Or say you have, some sort of cramping going on, we can prescribe you an antispasmodic, and the list goes on. But the thing is, there are a lot of other things that can be contributing to a lot of abdominal problems that you don't need a prescription for. So these are the types of things that I work on with my clients to make sure that they are assessing and addressing these areas of their lives that can be contributing to poor digestion and leading to a lot of gastrointestinal discomfort. So we're going to touch on these things. So when we talk about digestion takes place during the parasympathetic phase of the autonomic nervous system. Parasympathetic is the rest and digest part of our autonomic nervous system. That's opposed to the sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight or flight response. If you are stressed out, if you are at work trying to get work done and eating, if you are at home and your kids are screaming, you are in a stress state. And that stress state is going to impair digestion. So it's going to impair secretions of different gastrointestinal juices, HCl or acid or some digestive enzymes. And it's going to inhibit the motility, the movement of food through the gastrointestinal tract. So what you want to do is you want to get yourself into a relaxed state, because anytime that you are stressed out, it is going to inhibit those processes. So in order to do that, there's a few things you want to do. Number one, you want to get yourself away from distractions. So if you're at work, you got to go and give yourself that time to eat. Give yourself 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and get away from your work desk. You should be eating if you can, outside in the sun would be fantastic. If not, just away from anything that's going to distract you or make you stressed out. So that's step number one. At home, you want to not eat in front of a TV or like eating on the go just in the car. You want to make sure that you're sitting down and that you get yourself in a relaxed state. And the way that you can get into a relaxed state is what I like to call bounce breathing or box breathing. It's very simple to do. All it is just simple breath, 5 seconds inhale, hold for 5 seconds, breathe out for 5 seconds, and then hold for 5 seconds, and then you just continue that process for a full 2 minutes. So 5 seconds in, hold for 5 seconds, 5 seconds out, hold for 5 seconds. All these breaths should be done through the nose, again, because that stimulates the vagus nerve, which is going to be part of that parasympathetic nervous system. Also, when you're doing this, if 2 minutes seems like too much, just start with one. All that is 4 cycles of this 5-second box breathing or bounce breathing. This will help you get into a more relaxed state. And I also suggest closing your eyes while you're doing this so that you can focus on the breathing. When you start focusing on the sensations in your body, you are now being present and you're no longer worrying about the future, which is stress, or worrying about the past, which is where depression comes in. So we want to be focused in the present. When you are present, you're much less likely to be stressed about anything. So focusing on body's systems, focusing on how you feel is going to decrease that stress level. So first thing you need to do is get away from any distractions. Step number 2 is this balanced breathing or box breathing. And then step 3 is you need to be present while you're eating. So you're not doing anything else. You're not listening to music or watching TV. just focus on eating your food, and it should be in a relaxed atmosphere. So if you're eating with friends or family, that's fantastic. If you're just taking time for yourself, that's also fine. But you want to enjoy the meal and you want to eat slowly, so you're not rushing through your meal. You're not taking two bites and that's it. You want to chew your food, give it at least 10 times if you can. I know it sounds like a lot, but you want to take your time through your digestion and making sure that you're properly breaking down food, because digestion doesn't start in the stomach, it starts in the mouth, and you want to make sure that the salivary amylase and the other digestive enzymes in your mouth and that your teeth are breaking down the food into digestible pieces, so when it gets to the stomach, it's able to break them down better so that you can absorb those nutrients. So that's the important thing we need to realize is, even if you don't have a lot of digestive issues, if you are not properly breaking down your food because you're in this sympathetic, this fight or flight response state while you're eating, you're not going to break down and assimilate the nutrients like you should. So you can create nutritional deficiencies over time also by having inhibited gastric function because you are eating in the wrong state. So again, just a quick overview of what you need to do. Step number 1 is you want to make sure that you are not in a stressed state. So you want to get away from your desk if you're at work, or if you're at home, you want to make sure that you're not in front of the TV, you're not watching the news, you're not distracted, just being present with what you are doing and eating. Step number 2 is the balanced breathing or box breathing for 2 minutes. And then step number 3, make sure that you are being present with your food. Make sure that you are eating slowly, you're enjoying it. And if you're around people, that's fantastic, interact with them. Or if you're outside, just being present with what you're eating and being by yourself. Those 3 things will do wonders for a lot of people. Remember, it's not a quick fix. This is not going to completely fix any digestive issues overnight, but over time, this is going to lead to a retraining of the circuitry in your body and making sure that you actually you can drop better into this parasympathetic, this rest and digest state. And it is going to do you a world of good as far as helping with digestion and a lot of the symptoms that accompany improper digestion because you were in too much of that sympathetic state. So make sure you practice this. It really does wonders if you practice it consistently. And let me know how it works.